Hello and welcome to tonight's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're going to be taking a look at a puzzle called Rise Up by none other than Playmaker 6174. I don't know how many puzzles we've done by Playmaker 6174 over the years on Cracking the Cryptic, but I would guess we must be well over 20, I would think. A fantastic constructor. Now, the cool thing about this puzzle, well, there's a couple of cool things about it, but it's been recommended to us a lot because apparently it's very good if you're relatively new to variant Sudoku. So the rules are fairly straightforward. There's not going to be anything to confuse anyone there. And apparently the logic is really beautiful. Although, knowing that, this is what the testers said to me in their sort of report on the puzzle. I just went to Logic Masters Germany before I turned on the webcam and snipped the comments. And there does seem to be a bit of disagreement. Look, so Wuk says, great puzzle. For me, not easy, 2.5 stars at least. And then someone further down says, once Pietato said it was a 1-star puzzle. Somebody else says felt easier than 2 stars. So I'm not sure what to make of that. But there's a lot of very good solvers who are commenting on it with quite some eulogistic adjectives. So that's very nice to see. RobotChicken. My friend Ewan had a very unfortunate incident involving RobotChicken, which is, I believe, a TV show, and it's certainly not a story I can share on a family channel. Sorry, RobotChicken, that just came out of nowhere. Anyway, right, I've got to get my mind off RobotChicken and into Rise Up by Playmaker. I don't have any news for you today. If you do enjoy the channel, please do think about subscribing. Drop us a kind comment. We enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And with that said and done, let's have a look at the rules to Rise Up and see what Playmaker 6174 has in store for us. The rules are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. Oh, and all clues are standard. Oh, I should have mentioned it. Yeah, I think this appeared on James Sinclair's Artisanal Sudoku sort of Substack weekly newsletter, which we've recommended on the channel before. I think this puzzle, that was its original genesis, and if you haven't checked that out, you really should. Anyway, let's carry on with the rules. Cages. The sum of the digits inside each cage is equal to the small number in the top left corner, and digits cannot repeat in a cage. So those squares add to 21, but what they could not be is 993, because although I think 3 plus 9 plus 9 does add to 21, obviously we've repeated the 9 in the cage, which is too naughty for words. The sum of the digits along an arrow is equal to the digit in the connected circle, and these digits can repeat if allowed by other rules. So if this was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 equals 6, so we'd write 6 into the middle cell. And they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. I mean, actually, look, we've got a 6 cage up there straight away. That's got to be 1, 2, and 3. There's a few things I can see straight away here. These 2 circles have to sum to at least 6 in each case. And that's because they've got 3 cell arrows emanating from the circles, and the 3 digits on each of these arrows have to be different. Look, so if we minimize those at 1, 2, and 3, they would still sum to 6, wouldn't they? So these circles are at least 6. One of them is a 9. I can say that. Now that's a bit more sophisticated. What I've done there is I've used this 8. Now 8 in 3 cells has to be either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4, which means there is indisputably an 8 in that triomino. Now imagine if there was no 9 in either of those cells, and this is sort of something you pick up the more of these puzzles you do. 6, 7 and 8, a 3-cell arrow to add up to 6, 7 or 8 must have a 1 on it. So we'd be in this situation, and this 8 cage in the middle box could not exist. So actually, ab initio, we can immediately say, we can immediately say that one of these cells is a 9, and its arrow, because if you think about 3 cells that add up to 9, they could include 1, but we know they mustn't because of this 8 cage. So the 9 arrow that comes off here is going to be 2, 3, and 4. and that's already really cool, because I don't know which of these arrows is 2, 3, or 4, but I do now know the nature of the 8 cage. Because imagine the 8 cage was 1, 3, 4, and imagine this was 2, 3, 4. Look at this row now. These 5 digits in this row, there are only 4 different digits to choose from for those 5 cells, so axiomatically we'd have to repeat one of them, and that will break the rules of Sudoku. And of course, if that's 2, 3, 4, we're in the same pickle. We don't want to get in a pickle. So I think this is 1, 2, 5. So now there can't be a 2 on both of those arrows. Ah, that's gorgeous. Right. So that means, remember we said one of these arrows is 2, 3, 4. So if the other arrow had a 2 on it, this 8 cage would break because it wouldn't have a 2 in it at all, but we know it does have a 2 in it. So imagine there's no 2 on this arrow. We know this circle is a 9. What's the minimum we could make these digits add up to if 2 wasn't allowed to be on the arrow? Well, it would be 1, 3, and 4, which add up to 8. So that's what must happen. We don't know which order the 2, 3, 4 and the 1, 3, 4 are in, but we do now know that these have to be an 8, 9 pair. These cells are all selected from 1, 2, 3, and 4, and one of the arrows is 1, 3, 4, and one of the arrows is 2, 3, 4. Which means this digit is a 5, of course, because this digit has 1 and 2 looking at it between those 6 cells. So now, well, now all the, oh, nearly. Oh, no. This is still beautiful. Right, now I know what the central digit is. This is gorgeous. This has to be a 9, because look at those 2 cells. They're obviously both on an arrow that emanates from this circle. But this square is at least a 6, and this square is at least a 6, but they can't both be 6, can they? So one of these is at least 7, but there are 2 more digits to add on to that 7 to get to the central digit. So this must be 9. This must be a 6, 7 pair, because each arrow has 2 more digits from it. These squares are 1s and 2s. There's going to be one of these is a 6, and that's going to have a 1 and a 2 emanating from it. But the one that's got 7 emanating from it is going to have double 1. Oh, I see. So whichever one is 7, imagine this was 7. This would be a 1, and this would therefore not have a 1 on it, so that would be a 9. And it works the same way the other way around. If that's a 1, that's 2, 3, 4, and that's the 9. Okay, this might be where we get stuck. We need to think again, don't we? So what have we got here? We've got 3, 4, and 8. Well, that can't be a 3, because we worked that out earlier. That would be double 9. So this is 4 or 8. If it's 4, this has to be 8, 9. And my spider sense is saying that that doesn't work. Now, why? Why is my brain telling me that? That's, I think that's nonsense. I don't see why that can't be 8, 9. Naughty brain. Okay, and if this is 8, these have to add up to 13 without using 8. So they'd either be 4, 9 or 6, 7, which... Again, I think that's okay. It would create sort of 6, 7 pairings there. Oh dear. Okay, there is a symmetrical arrangement of 12 cages, But the digit that's sort of on in those positions, in both cases, sees 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Can't be 6 because you can't put 2 6s in a 12 gauge. So these digits are high digits. They are from 7, 8 and 9. Which means that their counterparts in these positions are 3, 4 and 5. Okay, that doesn't do anything either, I don't think. We've got a 15 gauge here, so that's got two ways of being composed. It could be 6 and 9, or it could be 7 and 8. And we've got a 14 gauge here, which is either going to be 5, 9 or 6, 8. So what I'm seeing there is that in each, see this 8, 9, let me just colour these for a moment, that might be the simplest way. This digit obviously can't go in a 15 gauge, in the 15 gauge because of Sudoku, but that digit must go in it then, because this must have an 8 or a 9 in it, otherwise it won't get to 15, and the same is true of course down here. So purple is in one of those, and I mean maybe we keep track of that. Well, actually, 9 obviously can't be in those squares, can it? So 9 is in this domino. So 9, but 9 could be here. And there's a lot of symmetry. So again, 9 is in there, and then it's in one of those 3. Maybe I will pencil mark that as well. No, that's it. That's it, look. Yes. Okay. So which way around was my brain saying? My brain was right. My brain was right, but it didn't realise why. And for that reason, my brain gets no brownie points today. Naughty brain. Right. That cannot be 4. Because remember, we said if that's 4, this is an 8-9 pair. So one of these would be 9, but neither can be, just because of the way Sudoku flows through the puzzle. So that is 8, which means these are not 8. Now, because we know that 9 can't go in this cage, these are a 6-7 pair now, because we know they have to add to 13 without using 8. We now know they can't use 9 either, so they're not 4 and 9. So we've got something going on with 6s and 7s. I'm going to colour those as well. Those are the same, and those are the same by Sudoku. Obviously that one is not that one, so it must be this one. So it goes in one of those. Okay. Oh, maybe this square. Yeah, I'm going to give this some thought actually, because something I haven't thought about at all, but is this box. But I do know something about 12 cages, and they don't have a whole variety of options. In fact, they have 2. A 4-cell 12 cage like this, it will have 1 and 2 in it, but this square can't be 1 or 2, because it's summing 2 different digits. So this is at least 3. But there are more things to learn about 12 cages. This cage either is 1, 2, 4, 5, or it's 1, 2, 3, 6. And the only thing I'm thinking there is if it is 1, 2, 3, 6. Oh, it can't. It's not. That's beautiful. Right, got it. Right, let's just imagine this was 1, 2, 3, 6 for a moment. We know this isn't 1 or the 2. So this would be 6 or 3. Well, could it be 6? No, it couldn't be 6 because then neither of these could be 6. Could it be 3? No, because this would have to be a 1 or a 2, but the 1 and the 2 live in the 12 cage. So this simply doesn't work. Which means this is the other alternative, which is 1, 2, 4, 5. That doesn't put as much pressure on this digit. Well, although does it? That might not be true. I mean, this certainly is not 5 now, is it? So that could be a 3 in the corner if this was a 1, 3 pair. If this is 5, In fact, it's always a 3 in the corner, which is rather pretty. Yeah, because basically we need a digit here that's lower than 4 or 5, and the only digit available, given 1, 2, 4 and 5 have been used up in the box, is 3. So that's 3. And that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. So now we get rid of 9s, look, from these squares. This digit is not 4, is it? So it is 1 or 2. And again, my brain is sort of shrieking at me saying, you must understand that, but I'm not sure that I do. Wow, okay, so what I am noticing is that we've very nearly used up all of the clues, haven't we? Oh, here's something interesting. Okay, so if we look at the other digits that we've got left to place in this box, we've got 6, 7s, 8s and 9s. Now I'm seeing I've got a quadruple on 6, 7, 8, 9 in column 9. The other thing I'm seeing is that these digits are different. Oh, that nearly does something. Okay, let me explain why. So let's just... Oh, actually, one of these is now... this is getting very constrained, but this digit, obviously it has to find a home in this box, and that's going to be in this domino. So this digit cannot be the same as this, because in column 9 it's in one of those two squares, and vice versa, that digit's going to be in here. So that means that the 4s and the 5s here are different. Now those squares, given that are different, see this square. So this is not a 4 or a 5 now. So that is a 6 or a 7. These digits left to be placed in box 1 are 4, 5, 6 and 7, and that is 6 or 7. Oh, I thought that was going to be good. Let's see. Oh, I think we're right on the cusp of understanding this now, but I haven't understood it yet. It's something to do with the difference in nature between the 14 and the 15 cage. But what? Yeah, okay, that digit is in one of those two squares, so there's a virtual 7-8 pair in the bottom row, and that digit can't be 8. So that digit can't be 6. And that works the other way round, doesn't it? This digit is in here, so that digit is not 7 or 8. So this 15 cage is in fact exactly equal to 6, 9 now. That means this isn't 9. Oh, no, right. That is beautiful, because now that digit is 8. So that, because it can't be 9, so that digit is 9. And now we know how these arrows work. Now that ought to be helpful, yes, because now this digit can't be 1 anymore. That's got to be 2, so that's 1, and blue is 6, which means orange is 7, and this is double 1. 2, 3, 4 is looking at that, so we get this pattern. 1 is in one of those squares. And this has become 8 now by Sudoku using the power of this, so that's 4. So these are not 8. 8 is in there. This is now 7. That's 5. And hopefully, hopefully we'll be able to do something with this. That's not 4. That's not 4. 1 isn't there. 1 isn't there. So this is a 1 in the corner. 9 comes out of the 14 cage. Oh, well, so this is 6, 8, and we know the order. Look, it's got to be in that order, which means that this is now not. This is 7, 9. So this is 6, 8. That does the corner digit up here. What a beautiful puzzle. I mean, this is the sort of thing I wish... I mean, the fact is, it's so clever. You can't just make these willy-nilly. But I think it's such a beautiful example of a puzzle with a very simple rule set, but with magical logic. And now that's not 1, and that's not 1. So that seems to mean that the 1 goes there, which determines that that's a 4 by the mathematics of the arrow. So we're in this world now. We must be able to... I feel like we can do all the ones in the puzzle. That might be wrong, but I feel like I've put in so many. We're probably not far away from that. Yeah, we've got all of them. Now, this is an 8-9 pair, which apparently is not resolved. And bottom row maybe? 2 and 5? Is that resolved? 2, 2, 5, 2, 5. It probably is, I just can't see why. What about... There's a little trick we can do with this 4. 4 is in one of those cells, look. So we can think about where 4 is in the top row. It can't be here, so it must be in one of these, but we know it's also in that domino, so the only sort of coincident square is that one. So 4, 3, 3, 2 go into the grid. 3 is now in one of those cells by Sudoku. 3 is not in this cell anymore. 2 is not in this cell because of this 2. Now, what do we do next? Is it 2s or is it something different? Not sure. Maybe the top row. 2, 5 and 7, I think. Oh yeah, where's 2 in the top row? We can place that. So that's 2. So that's 2. That's 5. Whoops. That's 2. This ought to be a 5-7 pair, which is resolved by the 7 in this position. And in this box we haven't put 6, 8 and 9, so we can put the 9 in. This is a 6-8 pair. This column needs a 3 or a 4, so that's going to be there. This 8 is doing the 8 and the 6 over this side. Does that mean we can do the 7 and the 9 here? Probably, but I can't see how. I can get that digit. that's fairly straightforward. So 4 in box 1 is now placed. Look. And this box, what does it need? 3, 7, 8. Well, okay, I'll pencil mark it. I can't actually see how to limit any of these digits. I suppose that one isn't 3. Okay, alright, what about those then? 3, 4, 5? I think that's right. And so this is a naked single. It sees 4 and 5. That does a bit more. So that's 4, that's 5. 5 is in this domino, so this becomes... Oh, and there's a 9 here. So this is a 9. This is a 5. This column needs 3, 4, 7, doesn't it? So that's a naked single. This is a 3, that's a 4, that's a 2, that's a 3. I feel like that was useful. So that's 5, that's 2. This box needs 2, 7, 9. Can we do that? Yeah, that's a 9, that's a 9, that's a 6, that's a 2, that's a 7. This is a 6 by Sudoku. 7, 5, 6, 8, 7. Ah, this is nice, isn't it? 7, 9, 9, 8, 8, 3, 3. If we haven't made a ricket, we can put 4 and 5 in. Oh, and if we still haven't made a ricket, we can put 6 and 8 over here. And my colouring's gone a little bit awry, but we can fix that. So we can do that. Take purple out of those, and then we need to take green out of that. Make sure that they are fully green, and then do that and fix that. Oh, maybe I should do my 6s and 7s as well. Why not, while we're here? Make the puzzle look even prettier. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Whoa! 2,000 people have solved that. Whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot more than I was expecting. James Sinclair's artisanal Sudoku is getting seriously popular. That was marvellous, wasn't it? Absolutely magic. Loved it. Absolutely loved that puzzle. That's one of my favourite of the sort of easier ilk that I can remember. Just beautiful from start to finish, so smooth and yet very crisp and really interesting. Playmaker 6174, take a bow, my friend. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoyed the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.